Hello, all you hooligans in Facebook land. I just want you to know that this is not going to be a flawless performance. I'm going to make lots of mistakes, rattle my papers, which I have been told makes me more relatable. But I would like to tell you a story. It is the story of the Yellowstone fire. In the summer of 1988, there was a horrible fire that took place in Yellowstone Park. About 700,000 acres of the park were burned, plus an additional 1.2 million acres of the surrounding area, which included the Grand Teton National Forest. This area was truly a national treasure, and when the environmentalists got a peek at it the next day when the smoke had cleared, they wailed and beat their chest in despair because the park, from their opinion, had been ruined. It would never be the same. Well, something strange happened the next spring. There was new growth that had not been present in decades. What happened was that fire is a great equalizer, and it's also one of the great cleaning tools by God, so to speak. And all the underbrush in the park was burnt out. It was cleared so seeds could actually drop. It regenerated the seeds from the aspen, the willow, and the something else I can't remember. But the primary tree in the park was known as the lodgepole pine. And the lodgepole pine was about 80% of the park. And their seeds were contained in pine cones. And the pine cones were covered in resin. And the resin required heat, high heat, and a lot of it in order to melt the resin and to drop. When everything heated up, the pine cones would drop, the resin would melt off, and the pine cones would crack open, releasing the seeds. Well, that is a good analogy for what happens with us. The people take in the Word of God. They read, they study, they memorize Scripture, they have their quiet time. They do all this, and then nothing really happens. And they think that they're not doing it right. They don't have, it's like there's some special formula. But then the fires of life come. They could have a son that is on drugs. They could have found out that they're going to have to file bankruptcy. They could have found out that their husband or spouse, their wife, is having an affair. And suddenly, all those little seeds that they have been taking in start to drop. I will never leave you nor forsake you, says the Lord. I will gather you together as a mother hen will gather her chicks. Fear not, I will love you with an everlasting love. And suddenly, the seeds drop, the seeds take root, and hope returns, and faith that God has not abandoned you is restored. Thank you.